Now this is a little old by the time you're getting this, obviously the next day of me reading it. And even right now as I'm reading this particular article, Catalan, you know, they were going to today, which today being Tuesday, we are going to declare independence today. It's over. We're going to do it. Breaking news, the guy in charge, Puigdemont, whatever his name is, not yet. Hold the phone. We're going to open up dialogue with Spain just to see if we can come to some agreement before we officially declare independence. We're going to give them a week to speak. But Spain had already said, we're going to send the police forces after you. The second you declare independence, that's a crime, we're going to arrest you. That's what Spain said. Now, granted, that's all they should have done from the beginning. They shouldn't have went in, destroyed voting machines, dragging old ladies out by their hair, bleeding, you know. You could have just said, whatever you guys do doesn't matter. We find it not even kind of lawful, null and void. So, was that practice of democracy fun? Do you enjoy it? Good, because it's meaningless. You know, you could have did it that way. But no, Spain got violent. And the reason I want to read this to you is because this is going to be, it's typical already, and it is the blueprint of how government responds to anywhere across the face of the earth that tries to do this kind of a thing. Okay? That's the main reason I want to read this to you, because this is the kind of response that Spain has given. Violence, arrest, you know, the gulag, to anybody who wants change that you promised, and then your Supreme Court said, now all those agreements and treaties, those are null and void now. They don't apply anymore. Oh, okay. In that case, we're leaving. Right? Pretty simple. Nope. Spain says you're part of us. Anyways, another article from Zero Hedge. Spanish police set to arrest Catalan leader immediately if he declares independence. Spain's D-Day is here. The country's biggest political crisis since an attempted military coup in 1981 is about to get a resolution, one way or another. And as Bloomberg reports, Spanish police are ready to arrest Catalan President Carles Puigdemont immediately if he declares independence in the regional parliament, according to two people familiar with the government's plans. In what may be a preview of possible upcoming civil war should today's event be handled incorrectly, which again, they put it on pause for a week, so sounds like we can wait now. Bloomberg writes that while a final decision on whether to act has not yet been made, Spain's national police force has elite officers deployed in Catalonia who are prepared to join a raid of Catalan police and try to shield, if Catalan police try to shield Puigdemont. If Puigdemont makes a statement that falls short of immediate independence, the government in Madrid may stay its hand. Puigdemont has called a press conference for 1 p.m. in Barcelona. Again, the latest is that we're going to open the door for dialogue. Spain, are you going to talk and come to an agreement? Of course, their dialogue is, you know, at least from Catalonia, is going to be the same things we've been talking about. The same ones I've been asking about. Hey, yo, Debo. Pop's tripping. He want me to ask you for all the things back we talked about. What things? All the stuff we agreed upon. All the stuff I've been asking you about. The stuff your Supreme Court said was null and void. Oh, that stuff. I didn't know you wanted back, homie. It's right over here. Yeah, we'll just keep it over in our part of the border. It's kind of like it's both of ours, but we got our own laws over here. Right? Debo, Smokey, and Red. Anyways, the National Police and the Civil Guard have sufficient officers in place to overcome any resistance they might meet. No, not the people said, no, we had enough. You wouldn't even kind of come close. Bloomberg's source notes. A government press officer declined to comment, other than to say that any such decision would have to be ordered by a judge. Also today, Puigdemont is due to address the regional legislature at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, with many of his supporters looking for him to announce a new republic to follow through on the makeshift referendum on October the 1st, with his core supporters demanding he make good on the illegal vote for independence and officials in Madrid urging Rajoy to finally crack down on the separatist campaign. Puigdemont's rebellion may be running out of road. Already armed police have cordoned off the Catalan parliament hours before the much-anticipated independence speech Meanwhile, Spain's Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy has held a firm line, refusing to negotiate with the Catalan separatists and insisting all along that he'll use only proportionate force in relation to the separatist government in Barcelona. Even so, prosecutors have been exploring charges of sedition against other separatist leaders, including Jordi Sanchez, head of the biggest pro-independence campaign group. Sedition carries a jail term of up to 15 years. Rajoy has vowed to use all the legal means at his disposal to prevent Catalonia seceding after Puigdemont's government defied a series of constitutional court rulings to go ahead with the referendum. Catalan police ignored orders to seize ballot boxes ahead of the vote. The Spanish government has stationed thousands of national police in cruise ships in the port of Barcelona. So far, local asset markets are taking today's events in stride, with Spain's IBEX stock index down just 1% as of noon in Madrid, while 10-year bond yields rose 2 basis points. Courtesy of Bloomberg, here is a flowchart, which I'm not going to show you, various possible events in Spain over the past 24 hours. Finally, from the Spain report, some more details ahead of Puigdemont's much anticipated 6 p.m. speech. This evening at 6 p.m., Carles, or is that supposed to be Charles? What is it? Anyways, Puigdemont will appear before the regional parliament to discuss the general political situation in Catalonia. Most of the country expects that to translate as some kind of declaration of independence from Spain. The precise wording of that statement and to what extent it will be interpreted as a genuine declaration of independence by courts, prosecutors, the central government, and Catalan separatists themselves is known this Tuesday morning. The size and reach of the Spanish state's response to any declaration of independence is also unknown. The options range from criminal charges of sedition or rebellion through the suspension of home rule in Catalonia for an unspecified period of time, and even to articles of the Spanish Constitution that allow for the declaration of a state of alarm or exception. Given the policing shortcomings of the past 10 days, any move to arrest Mr. Puigdemont and members of his regional government would be fraught with potential difficulties. The Catalan police, the Mossos, have closed Parliament Park, the Parc de la Ciutadella in central Barcelona, erected metal barriers around the Parliament building, and parked several dozen police vans outside. The Catalan National Assembly, Omnium Cultural, and local separatist groups are busy organizing untold thousands of supporters to travel to the park and the area outside the High Court and the adjacent road. With a proven ability to mobilize several 100,000 people, Spaniards will find out this evening if those policing efforts are enough to hold back the protesters, or if, in the end, they overflow into the park and surround Parliament. Messaging shifted slightly overnight from defend Parliament to peacefully support Catalan institutions. Police, regional or national, were unable, national or unwilling, regional, to stop most people who wanted to from voting on October 1st, and did not stop separatist protesters from shutting down Catalan roads during a day of total stoppage last Tuesday. On September 20th, snap protests called by the ANC and Omnium led to the investigation of sedition because of court officials and judicial police were blocked inside a building for several hours and Civil Guard SUVs vandalized. The Spanish Home Office refused to comment on any national police and Civil Guard provisions for the day, citing operational security requirements. You know, we're not going to tell you. That's okay. The question is, what are they going to do now in a week? Is this guy going to declare independence or not? So it's kind of a smart move for him to just say, let's wait one last time and let's open up for negotiations just in case. So now those police forces are going to have to sit here today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, the day after, until the week goes by for them to decide, or, did we have a meaningful conversation with Spain? Did we even have a conversation with the Spanish government? And if not, then clearly we're going to go ahead and declare independence. Now, naturally, if I was that particular leader in charge of Catalonia, I'd be saying, all citizens, you have the right and duty, as you voted for independence, to protect all of us, that the Spain's forces are going to come, or political stooges, whatever, are going to send those forces over to try and arrest us. It is your duty to protect us, and anyone who tries to arrest us, you have the right to arrest them. Citizens arrest. Make sure you get a bunch of those strong tie straps, zip ties, to arrest these invading forces, so to speak. And you would have to have the citizen. Again, as long as you meet the, force for force, amounts of people for amounts of police, or you can simply overwhelm them. They got 20,000 police. We've got 100,000 people here. Good luck getting in, right? You'd stop them easily. But it is up to the sheeple people to protect or not to protect. And if they want to stand around as total sheep and let the police forces come in and take their newly pledged leader that they agreed to, well, what good, what point was it for you to even try to declare independence if you're not going to actually fight for it, right? Last time I checked, any country or city, state, or anything that declared independence didn't just raise some flags and walk around with signs and, they literally had to fight for it, at least in the past. But again, peaceful protests, peaceful resolutions is the best way to go. But we already saw what the Spanish government's capable of doing, violence. So don't think for a second they won't try it again. But one way or another, this is interesting because I think that's going to be the clarion call going forward. I think we've already figured that out. You haven't seen it, even if Catalonia goes one way or the other. Oh no, we're going to stay. It doesn't matter. There are going to be others that want to do the same thing for the similar reasons. Or their government spending is out of control. We're tired of it. We're just separating, etc. Done. So this isn't going to be a one-off. It's going to keep coming. How soon or how frequent, I don't know. But you can see where this is all heading. Take care.